Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna.
I will give you a darshan of Radha Nadwar. Yeah. Radha Nadwar ki jai. Giri Govardhan ki jai. Gaurani Tai ki jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki
jai.
Tulsi Maharani ki jai. Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki
Jai.
jai. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So thank you, Darpan Prabhu. Thank you for the short kirtan, and thank you very much. And so welcome all devotees to the ISKCON Columbus Sunday feast. And we are very happy. So the program for the next 1 hour will be a discourse, and until around 12:30. And Prabhu will take 10-15 minutes of questions. And at around 12:30, we will have some announcements for the upcoming festivals and other events, for the local events. And we'll go from there. So today, it's our extreme, we are so lucky to have one of our very senior devotees from ISKCON Central, New Jersey. His Grace Krishna Namananda Prabhu is a disciple of His Holiness Jaipataka Swami Maharaj. And I know Prabhu from Central New Jersey, and he's one of the most service-oriented Prabhu in the whole of Central New Jersey. And we are very lucky to Prabhu is with us today. And he's going to give us a discourse on Lord Krishna Revelations, Pearls of Bhakti. So Prabhu, you can take it from here. Thank you so much for coming today, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, start. Let me share the screen first. Can you see the screen?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7.1.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, great. Okay. Thank you all for joining and giving your association here. We are joined for this ISKCON of Columbus Sunday feast. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmiritam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Krupa Tamaham Vande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Krupa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai. So we'll try to understand from this verse, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse number 1. We'll have quick prayers and then we'll try to understand this chapter. First of all, Bhagavad Gita at a high level. Why this specific chapter 7? What is the context in the Bhagavad Gita? We'll try to understand when it says what is the title, what is the purpose of this title in the chapter 7. We'll also try to understand what is Bhagavan means, and probably with the time we have, maybe we'll cover maybe first line of this verse because this has a detail, so much details, and this verse can be dissected and analyzed in many different ways. We'll try to see by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. We'll try to understand by his mercy. With that, please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Hari Om Tat Sat. So first we'll try to understand. First of all, everyone, whoever is assembled today is very fortunate because you are associating with ISKCON Columbus. That means it is also you are associating with Srila Prabhupada. So let me give a little bit background of ISKCON Columbus, because I have heard from two different devotees, His Grace Narayan Prabhu and His Grace Bhagavan Prabhu. Both these devotees have shared the wonderful memories of ISKCON Columbus. May 12th of 1972, Srila Prabhupada, our ISKCON founder Acharya, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Krishna Kripamurti, he has come to ISKCON Columbus and he had a program, wonderful program on May 12th, 1969 in auditorium of Ohio University. So that's how, because of his association, we are coming in touch with ISKCON of Columbus, with the devotees. So you are become already fortunate. And Prabhupada mentions, Yei Krishna Bada Chatur. One who is worshipping, one who is taking association, one who is trying to hear about Krishna is already intelligent. So, and fortunate. So the Prabhupada has come in 1969 to Ohio University. To 2,000 students assembled. Most of them are students and wonderfully dancing and chanting. There was wonderful chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and so Prabhupada has given discourse. That is our first incident I remember from the memories of. And also another memory was there. This temple, I don't know now the current temple from how long it is. I think from 10-15 years ago, the current one. I think this one is from the old place, I think, if I remember correctly, where there is a small room Narayan Prabhu was sharing. It was a very small room. Temple was a small room. So Prabhupada and Allen Ginsberg were discussing. Allen Ginsberg were asking, what is the symptoms of Kali Yuga? What happens at the end in Kali Yuga? Then Prabhupada trying to, and then they couldn't go inside. Only few devotees could join because small room. Then they joined from the adjacent room, and they drilled a hole through a almara to hear what Prabhupada is saying. So then when Prabhupada, Allen Ginsberg asked and Prabhupada addressed in reply, in Kali Yuga, especially at the end of Kali Yuga, people, there will not be much food. People will be eating one another. And even if there are fruits, there will be only seeds, no pulp in it. So in that way, it will be very much degraded and no dharma will be left at the time. And devotees will be staying in the caves. So that will be the end of Kali Yuga, Prabhupada explaining. And then then Allen Ginsberg asked, what about Prabhupada, what about your disciples? Oh, my disciples, they will go back in 3 lifetimes. Then what about me? What about people like us? Prabhupada said, he waited a few minutes and he said, yes, I will eat you and you will eat me. So this is the end of Kali Yuga. So we can understand still, so for one who is taking already the association of the devotees and already chanting, following the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna and his spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, so already they will go back if they are following instruction already in 3 lifetimes. Not just this incident, there was another incident, Hare Krishna, Prabhupada's disciple, he shared also from his story, and also his sister, Bhakti Mataji. There also Prabhupada mentioned, oh, your sister will go back this lifetime, go back to Godhead this lifetime. So the Hare Prabhu shared also, within 3 lifetimes, my disciples who are following, they are already chanting, they are already hearing, they are already reading. So they will go back to Godhead. They are all very fortunate. So in this way, so I want to bring to your attention that ISKCON Columbus is called Sripat. Wherever Srila Prabhupada or founder Acharya, just like if it is your like a grandparents or your fathers, someone built within your family, how grateful you will be, how fortunate you will be. You will always remember that place whenever you go to that place. So the same way, especially for a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, coming to that place, that means it is mentioned in Shastra, 100 miles radius, everywhere it will purify. So anybody who is coming in touch and taking the association. So I'm very fortunate to associate with ISKCON Columbus and giving the opportunity to speak, share something about this specific verse. So thank you. With that, we'll begin. So the chapter title, first of all, let's understand Bhagavad Gita. There are 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. In this 18th chapter, middle 6 chapters has a very predominant, very much deep subject matter is described here. Why so? Because it is explained, Acharya is explained, giving an example of jewelry box. The bottom box is the first 6 chapters of Karma Yoga, predominantly talking about what is activity. Because Bhagavad Gita talks about 5 things: Isvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, and Prakriti, Kala, one more thing, Karma, the last one, very important. The 4 things. The first in the first 6 chapters, Krishna is speaking mostly about the karma activity, because the whole Bhagavad Gita purpose is to transform our material activity into spiritual activities. For this today's title also, this specific verse, at least couple of titles I can share. One title is material attachment, transferring our material attachment to spiritual attachment, Rati to Arati. Or another title is also Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana. Another title, you can look at this verse and dissect. There are 4 lines. It is giving indication, Krishna is giving clear indication and instruction that understand your relationship, living in his relationship with me, with the Supreme Lord, and understand how to apply after knowing that knowledge. That is Sambandha means relationship, Prayojana, Abhideya means practical application, and then end goal, what will happen by simply following the last word of this verse. What will be the result? Samagram Mam, ultimately you will attain me. In this way, this verse can be understood at least in these 3 lines. So now coming back to the 3 sections of Bhagavad Gita, first 6, middle 6, last 6 chapters. First 6 chapters talking about Karma Yoga, middle 6 chapters talking about Bhakti Yoga. So The bottom portion of your jewelry box is Karma Yoga, and the top portion is like a Jnana Yoga. The last 6 chapters predominantly talking about how to detach yourself. But the middle 6 chapters, unless you open your jewelry box with keys and you go inside, then you can understand actually the deep subject matter. And another way Prabhupada puts in this purport also, there is a natural natural, and there is a comparative, there is superlative. The 3 degrees, Guhya, Guhya Tara, and Guhya Tama. Confidential, more confidential, most confidential. This particular section, this chapter 7, is coming under more confidence, second level of confidential knowledge. The first confidential knowledge Krishna talks about is in the chapter 2 about the body and soul. That is the confidential. And then the next confidential is this chapter, especially 7th chapter. And the most confidential knowledge is in the 9th chapter and also 12th chapter. In this way, we can understand the Bhagavad Gita so at a high level. So, we understood within jewelry box, we go inside the jewels, the pearls is inside the box. That is the Bhakti Yoga, middle 6 chapters. But then you have to have a key to open it. What are the keys? And Shastra Acharyas explain the keys are the 2 specific verses, especially. Manmanava Madbhakto Madhyajimam Namaskuru Mame Vaisu Satyante Pratijane Priyosme. This verse is repeated twice. The last line changes in the 9th chapter and the 18th chapter. Very famous verse, very, very important, very deep verse. Means think of me, become my devotee, offer your obeisances to me, worship me. Very simple, basic things. We do that in general. In relation with our kids, our parents, we always think of them, we serve them, sometimes we offer our obeisances or respects to our parents. So the same thing we do, but it is just we have to transfer that attachment to Krishna. That's what Krishna is emphasizing. Krishna is not saying nowhere in Bhagavad Gita, you give up your duties. Krishna is rather emphasizing how to transfer that attachment, increase your attachment. That's what is the Bhakti Yoga all about. So the keys will be the Manmanava, that verse, and another verse is Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Saranam Bhaja. These 2 verses are the keys to, in order to understand about Bhakti Yoga. These 2 verses we should know at least in a brief, and later on as we progress in Bhakti, we will go in deep and detail understand and improve and progress in Bhakti. So with that said, so this chapter title, Knowledge of Absolute or Absolute Truth. What do you mean by absolute truth? Prabhupada explains in especially Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Goswami Prabhupada, who is the spiritual master of our ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. His appearance day is coming, very, very important day, March 3rd. Wednesday is his appearance day coming up. So with that, remembrance of that, so I could remember this absolute truth. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati is quoting from Chaitanya Charitamrita, one verse, especially from Srimad Bhagavatam, quoting verse, where it is explained about the Vidya and Paravidya and Aparavidya. What is the knowledge of the absolute truth? Means there are 2 differences. Generally, we know material knowledge, or Aparavidya means inferior knowledge. What is inferior knowledge? There is anything which is giving dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, 4 things, that is still inferior. And another way to look at it, Bhakti Siddhanta was explaining, even Vedas, especially Rig Veda, Sam Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, 4 Vedas, that is also inferior. And he talks about, because it is describing about the Nirukti, Vyakarana, Sankalpa, and a few other things, 4, 5, Jyotisha, these are all inferior. Because anything which is talking about the spiritual subject, especially developing our love for God, love for Krishna, love for Lord Vishnu, that is the para, means superior vidya. That is para vidya, that is absolute truth. And then, so where it is explained, this absolute truth is anything in relation with spiritual subject, spiritual world, and spiritual identity. What is our identity? We are not this body, we are the spirit soul. And what is our relationship with Krishna? That is what is called absolute truth. Krishna is not so much emphasizing in the first 6 chapters about this specific, because middle it is confidential. Not everybody can understand. So that is what is absolute truth means. Hope you understood. So then now coming back to this Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the verse is beginning with. So let's read verse and then we'll try to go in a little bit deep. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Saktamana Partha Yogam Injanmadashraya Asamsayam Samagram Mam Yatagnasasi Tatsrunu. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Saktamana Partha Yogam Injanmadashraya Asamsayam Samagram Mam Yatagnasasi Tatsrunu. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Saktamana Partha Yogam Injanmadashraya Asamsayam Samagram Mam Yatagnasasi Tatsrunu. This is how Srila Prabhupada has given us 3 times. We are supposed to repeat. At least we can remember one word, one line. So, word to word translation. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Lord said, Mayi, to me, Asakta Mana, mind attached, Partha, O Sana Pruta, Yogam, self-realization, Injan, practicing, Mad Ashtrayaha, in consciousness of me, Krishna consciousness, Asamsayam, without doubt, Samagram, completely, Mam, me, Yata, how, Gnaschasi, you can know, Tat, that, Srunu, try to hear. Translation by Drivanges, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, now here, O Sanapruta, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. Please repeat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, now here, O Sanapruta, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. So now we'll try to understand this verse. So, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. So, what do you mean by Bhagavan specifically? Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is speaking here. So, Bhagavan, one meaning our Acharya Srila Prabhupada is explaining that one who possesses 6 opulences, which is knowledge, it is mentioned as Aishwarya Samagrasya, Isisasriya, Gnana Vairagyancha, Sannam iti Bhagangana. One who possesses 6 opulence in full, which is knowledge, strength, name, fame, and renunciation, beauty, Sriya. These are the 6 things. Another meaning Srila Prabhupada shares, quoting Srila Jiva Goswami from Bhagavad Sandarbha, that is more, it's very nice to hear about it. This Bhagavan word is deciphered in three ways: Ba, Ga, and Va. So Ba means Bharta, maintainer, or bestower. That is Supreme Lord. And Ga means Gamayati, also means creator of wonderful qualities in devotees. One who is taking shelter of him, he creates, he brings up the good qualities, he improves, he removes the bad qualities and increases their good qualities. And also he shares the opulence, and he also takes the living entity, especially the devotee, to Vaikuntha, to Golok Vrindavan, or wherever, whatever, depending on relationship within the spiritual world. So that is Ga. Va means uncontrollable. Not is the supreme controller. In this way, Bhagavan is also can be understood from our mercy of our acharyas. Now coming back to the actual verse. So here it is mentioned, Maya Sakta Manah Partha Yogam Injan Mad Ashraya Asamsayam Samagram Mam Yata Gnasasi Tachrunu. So first we will try to understand the last word, Srunu. Specifically, Arjuna is not asking the question here, but Krishna himself is speaking. First of all, why did this verse appear? Why did Krishna started speaking? Generally, if you see the whole Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is asking questions and Krishna is speaking. First question you will see from 2.55 in chapter 2, and then second question you will see in the beginning of third chapter. So I think there's one more question later on, but there is no question before this verse, but Krishna started speaking this chapter. Why so? Why is it? That's why it is very important to understand Bhagavad Gita, last verse of the chapter, beginning verse of chapter. Very systematically presented, Krishna, and Srila Prabhupada also very systematically analyzing and presenting it. Because in the 6th chapter, Ashtanga Yoga, we see that Krishna describes in detail about Ashtanga Yoga. And at the last verse, he's talking about out of all so-called yogis, so many kinds of yoga process, your Ashtanga Yoga, Hatha Yoga, different kinds of Kriya Yoga. These days, it's even more rampant. Vihanga Yoga, you name it, n number of yogas are there. Will open your Kundalini, whatnot. But the topmost thing Krishna is emphasizing, yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratma shraddhavan yo bhajate mam tame yuktatamo mataha. One who is worshipping, one who is thinking of me and developing attachment to me, transferring their activities, results to me, they are the topmost yogis. So Krishna is concluding with that verse. Because he said yoga, that means yoga means linking, uniting with God, our relationship with the Supreme Lord, because our natural propensity to love Krishna is already there, where Srila Prabhupada is quoting. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kamunoi Sravanadi Suddha Chitte Karah Budai. Even in the first conversation in ISKCON Columbus with Ellen Ginsberg and Srila Prabhupada and I think Hayagrev Prabhu and one more Prabhu was there. So in that conversation also you see about this Shrunu, hearing. Prabhupada is emphasizing. So it's even more important for ISKCON Columbus to congregate together and associate with the others and devotees and hear regularly. So that will be because by following Srila Prabhupada's instruction, automatically we can attain Krishna Prema very quickly. So by the mercy of pure devotee. So that's Srunu. So Srunu means hear. So hearing is a very important aspect because out of 9 kinds of devotion service, the Sravanam, hearing is the topmost process, topmost and important. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedana. Out of these 9 things, Sravanam is the first and foremost. So where our Acharya is explaining that especially the hearing is the most important because when even in the whole world, when the material world is created, how did it got created? There were the sound vibration. Even when we sleep, none of the other senses works, but the hearing works. As soon as we hear sound, then we wake up. So that's why the hearing is already the sound vibration is very important. On top of it, spiritual vibration is even more important. So that's a transcendental vibration. So in this specific case where Krishna is emphasizing how we should hear, we should hear and we should hear with rapt attention. Tas srunavan supatan vicharana paro bhaktya muchet naraha. One who is hearing with rapt attention, tas srunavan supatan, that means they should write the notes, they should try to understand, because if we hear with rapt attention, then it will go to the Sravanam and Smaranam, Kirtanam, and then Smaranam will happen. If there is no proper rapt attention hearing, Smaranam cannot happen. You cannot remember things, especially about the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. Obviously, we will remember all material things, what we are doing, but we cannot remember Krishna. So that's why it is like pouring ghee into fire. So the flames, it has to flare our heart, it has to go through the ear holes and enter into the heart. That's when it flares up. The fire sparks will come, fire will go on. If it is not rapt attention, that means we are hearing from this ear and it is going other side. So that's where rapt attention means try not to do multitasking if possible, but it's not so easy in Kali Yuga. We have so many other activities going on, but it's all right. Something is better than nothing. But if it is possible, you concentrate. That's what Krishna is telling you. Tasrunu. specifically Krishna is calling out to Arjuna, oh Arjuna, please hear with rapt attention. Then you can understand and attain me without doubt, full everything in full absolute truth, and you can come back to the spiritual world. So Krishna is emphasizing that. So where about the here the Tasruno is also the hearing, and especially for this Kali Yuga, hearing is most important, especially chanting the holy name of the Lord, where it is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, another subject. This is like a Bhagavad Gita is like a foundation. Bhagavatam is the next level, like a master's, and then Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is like a PhD. It is the next postgraduate, you can say. It is a high level subject. There it is mentioned that Krishna mantra haibe hoite samsara mochana. Krishna nama hoite pabe Krishnera charana. By simply taking the holy name of the Lord, chanting the Hare Krishna Maha mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By simply chanting the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna Maha mantra, samsara mochana, will be able to get liberation. Panchama Purushartha. We discussed Chaturveda Purushartha means Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, coming under inferior knowledge, still material. But anything which is talking about Pancham Purushartha, fifth Purushartha, what is that? Developing our love of God. That is our Pancham Purushartha. That is spiritual, that is absolute truth. So that's what Samsara Mochana means. We will be liberated from this material bondage and develop our actual love and go back to our original, go back to Godhead. That is the Samsara Mochana. Not only that, we attain our attain Krishna's lotus feet, Krishna Charana, by Krishna Nam, Krishna Mantra, both are same. Anything Krishna speaking Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's words, they are also in Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th chapter, 12th canto, 12th chapter, 59th verse. You see there also beautiful verse. It is mentioned that one line, one verse, if you remember just one verse in your whole life, just one verse, even half verse, even one line, even a half line, if you remember, we will be liberated from this current material condition. You can imagine. Just one, that also there it is one last word is very important. It is mentioned, if you hear from the bona fide source, then if you hear from, because in today's world you hear so many is giving, so many are doing kirtan, so many is speaking Bhagavad Gita, but unless it is coming from a bona fide acharyas, bona fide sampradaya, there are 4 sampradayas wherein Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya sampradaya is coming under Lord Brahma. Krishna spoke directly to Lord Brahma within the heart. So from there it is coming down, Srila Prabhupada, our compound acharya. So anyone who is following in that kind of a bona fide sampradaya and giving the transcendental knowledge, who has realized himself, not just simply reading like a parrot, knowing the knowledge, but actually realize it. Jnana has to become Vijnana. That's why Krishna speaks after this next verses. He's talking about Vijnana, practical application. Then we get realization. If you don't apply it, yes, unless you eat like ISKCON Sunday feast, we have generally gulab jamuns. Unless you eat and taste it, how do you know it's gulab jamun, how good it is, how tasty it is? So that's why it is very important to understand this subject matter and develop our actual realization. So we have to put our heart into it slowly and gradually. So that's why this Srunu, Sravanam, is hearing is very important. Even one line, one word we remember. And so there is each chapter, there is glories of Bhagavad Gita actually. So we will not go into that detail, but Tasrunu, that is the Srunu aspect. Now let's go into the first line. Why? What Krishna is telling to hear? So he is mentioning Maya Asakta Mana Parda. Parda means because Arjuna's mother is Kunti Maharani, another name is Pruta. So that's why son of Kunti Maharani, Pruta, is Parda. So Krishna is speaking because here why Parda is used. He could have used Arjuna, he could have used some other name. Krishna is mainly talking about concentrating on the point that attachment. Yes, you have your relationship with your mother, but same thing, just to transfer that attachment to me. So that's why he's specifically using here, because he's talking about asakti, my asakta. Asakta is a very deep word to try to understand. So that's the meaning of Parda, why Krishna is using every word, everything is Krishna has a specific purpose to use. It is not just simply used by randomly. And in this world also, nothing happens by chance. Everything is happening by the divine intervention of the Supreme Lord and our own free will. So nothing is happening. People say by accident it happened, by coincidence it happened, by instinct it is happening. No, but it is not so. If we understand this through bona fide source, we will be able to crystal clearly know. So nothing happens by chance. So now Mai, what does it mean by Mai means? Mai means one who understand. Mai means specifically to supreme person of Godhead, supreme personality of Godhead Krishna. Mai means it is not impersonal. Many may translate, so one should worship within Krishna. And there is a within and no without. Krishna is everywhere. Krishna is the supreme person. So it is for us. Yes, we are the body, and within the body we have a soul. Within in the heart, 1/10,000 tip of the hair, so small you cannot see it. But Supreme Lord Shri Krishna is not like that. He is not conditioned at any point of time. That's why he is called God. Otherwise, why will he be called God? So Krishna is specifically emphasizing Mai means to me, to the supreme person. He's not talking about coming to worship Brahman effulgence. Not that. He's not talking about Paramatma. He's not talking about the super soul. He's specifically talking about the supreme person in personal relationship. That is what Mai means. Offer understanding, with that understanding, offer everything to me. That's why he's using that Mai. So Mai means now Asakti. Asakti means in different ways we can understand. Asakti is also one of the steps of the bhakti process, and then but here specifically Krishna is talking about is Asakti is relationship. What kind of relationship? The specifically Krishna is talking about the 5 rasas: Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. As I mentioned, when creation happened, what did it happen? Out of sound, first it happened. People say Big Bang Theory, but that's not so. The sound is the first one who produced 26 elements. In Canto 3 Bhagavatam, we hear the creation aspect of the elements, how it generated, but we'll not go into that, that's another class. But we have to understand just the basic in context of this word Asakti. Prabhupada explains 5 things. One is the sound vibration. So there it is mentioned. So you have a sky, sound vibration, and then the sky generated. Sky, then you have air, then you have a fire, then you have water, then you have earth. These 5 elements, one after another, systematically it was created. After Krishna glancing this has been entered into the material world. It is already there, but unless it has to be activated by the Supreme Lord, it cannot. Nothing can happen. No transformation can happen. These are the 5 things. So in relation with that, Prabhupada is explaining. So just like the sky, can you have a tangible experience with the sky? No, you cannot. But as you progress from that sky to the next to the air, yes, you can experience, oh, some nice smell is coming, it's cold, it's hot. There is an experience. Gradually it increases more and more tangible. So the sky to the air, to the fire, to the water and earth, more and more tangible. Same way, Shanta, or it's more of a God is great. But how great he is, what exactly his qualities. So the revelation of Krishna here, by simply hearing, Krishna is revealing his holy name. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila means holy name, his transcendental form and his transcendental pastimes and his qualities. That is the revelation. When will it be revealed? Theoretically, yes, he is revealing, but practically to get revelation or revealing within our heart, when we last word, tasrunu, when we hear rapt attention regularly, consistently, then we can that can be revealed, our original swarupa and our original relationship with Krishna. So that's a Maya Asakta Manapartha. Mayi means also means Sambandha Jnana. Relationship with Krishna. What is our relationship with Krishna? That is the first line. Sambandha is telling you have a relationship with me. Then he is telling Yogam Injan. That means you have to develop attachment. That means some activity you have to do. That is the practical application aspect, that is a prayojan. Sorry, avideya. Then what will be the end goal? Samagram mam, you will attain me. So you will know me in full, then you will attain me. So sambandha, prayojana, and abideya. Just like if a boy loves a girl, then first he has to understand what is the relationship. And then you will act, okay, you will do service, serve each other. And then ultimately they develop love. It is not like without serving each other, without understanding, developing relationship, how can you love? In material world, if you see generally also, why do you call your wife? Why are you interested only your wife or your husband? So many women are there. Why? Because it is your own family. That's why you are identifying specifically with your wife, with your husband, with your son, with your daughter, with your parent, your father or mother, because that's a close relationship. So Krishna is emphasizing here, same way, I am actually the supreme father. I am the seed giving father for all living entities. So you transfer that attachment to me. So to understand that you all, even your husband, wife, that is this life. But what happened in the previous life? Who are your parents? Who are your husband, wife? Next life, who's going to be? Do we know? We don't know. But we all know that Krishna is emphasizing, I am the supreme father. I was there previously, I am going to be there in the future also. So that's why you transfer this attachment. That will help you actually improve your own relationship in your own family life or whatever ashram. If you are not married, that's fine. So whatever, wherever you are working, whatever relationship you have with your friends and families and parents, that will be improved because Krishna is the center. Krishna is the Rasovai Saha. He is the source of all relationships. So that's why here Krishna is emphasizing that just like the sky to air to fire to water to earth, same way as the Shanta, oh, God is great. Then the next, that is Shanta, means neutral. God is great. But the next level, when it comes to, that is, what is that? Shanta Dasya. That means master and servant on reverence. That is the rest of the Vaikuntha planet where Lord Vaikunteswara so is there, where you cannot jump on him and play. That is more of on reverence. That is the Shanta Dasyaras. More and more relationship is getting mature, tangible. You can serve. In Shantaras, there is not direct service. Like in example, I will give you from Vrindavan Dham. You'll see. So I have one verse because actually I was seeing the deities of Shri Radha Natavar, right? Is that correct? Radha Natavar. So in that there is one beautiful verse. I'll chant that, and you can also try to remember this verse when you are offering obeisances, when you are in front of Radha Natavar, Shri Radha Natavar. You can offer also this prayer. This Gopis of Vrindavan in 10th canto has chanted this verse. Barha pitam natavara vapu karnayo karnikaram bibrad vasa kanakakabisam Vaijayanti Jamalam Randhan Veno Radha Sudaya Purayan Gopa Vrundai Sri Vrindaranyam Swapadaramanam Pravishad Gita Kirti, where Gopis of Vrindavan are chanting the beautiful, attractive feature of the Supreme Lord. Barahapetam is wearing the peacock feather. Natavara Vapu, 3 hands. See, you can see his leg is dancing. So you can see Shri Radha Natavar. So Barahapetam Natavara Vapu, his 3-bended form is always dancing. Karnayo Karnikara is wearing the blue Karnikara flowers on the ears. Karnayo Karnikaram. Bibrad Vasa Kanakabisam is always generally, whenever we talk about Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, is always wearing yellow dhoti, yellow cloth, generally. And that doesn't mean you don't wear other color, but general description, that's how it is given, glittering yellow color. So not exactly the material yellow we know of, but a little bit transcendental yellow. Barhapedam Natavarapu Karnayo Karnikaram Bibrad Vasa Kanakabisam Vaijayanti Chamalam. He is wearing the Vaijayanti Mala. Vaijayanti Malam Ramdran Venu, and he is wearing having the flute. This is a specific differentiation between all other forms of God, between Krishna. Nobody is playing. Lord Ramchandra is not playing. Lord Vishnu is not playing the flute. Only Krishna plays. Not even Lord Balaram is playing. But Lord Krishna is the only one who is playing the flute. Natavarapu Karnayo Karnikaram Bibrad Vasa Kanakabisam Vaijayanti Chamalam Dandran Venor Adara Sutaya Purayan. From his, but as soon as he started singing, playing as flute, that's it. Everybody is captivated. Even in the Santras, neutrality. I'm coming back to trees. The trees are the different animals. They all have a neutral relationship. They are so much attracted. As soon as Krishna is walking in, as soon as he starts playing the flute, then all the trees bending down to offer, touch their lotus feet of the Lord, or offering their fruits to the Lord, offering their flowers to the Lord. It's very beautiful. That's it. Vrindavan is, who is the in charge of Vrindavan? Sri Vrindavan Eswari, especially Tulsi Marani is the in charge of Vrinda Devi. So by worshipping a simple one thing we can do every day, our whole life can be perfected by simply offering tulsi leaves. One who is worshipping the deity, if you are initiated, second initiated, when you are doing 16 upachar, Prabhupada has given clear instruction. As soon as you finish Abhishek, first thing you have to do is put tulsi leaf at the feet of the lotus feet of the Lord. Even before getting dressed. That's how important tulsi leaves is. So every day, not only worshipping, going down to tulsi.
Karnayo Karnikaram.
Kindly, can you mute, please? So if offer tulsi leaves every day at the lotus feet of the Lord. So that is the best thing we can do. Because she is the pure devotee, and Krishna doesn't accept anything which doesn't have tulsi. So by the sincere, simple offering, very simple process, anybody can do. You don't need to have money or anything. Simple process. So have a tulsi plant at home, nicely worship, and offer tulsi leaves every day to the picture. That will really improve our consciousness. It is all about the consciousness, internal consciousness. So Natavaropu Kannayo Karikaram Bibrad Vasa Kanakapsam Vaijayanti Chamalam Randran Veno Radra Sudaya Puren Gopa Vrundaihi. And he is always be with the cohort boys, cohort girls. Vrundaranyam Swapadaramanam, as he is watching with these lotus footprints everywhere in Vrindavan, dust. One of the things is Vrindavan dust never gets contaminated. Jagannath Puri Mahaprasad never gets contaminated. Even whatever age, doesn't matter. When dog is eating Mahaprasad of Lord Jagannath, he can eat other side also. There is no contamination. That's how powerful Vrindavan dust is. That's how spiritual is Jagannath Mahaprasad also. Undaranam Sapataramanam Pravishad Gita Gita. In this way, they were chanting about the glories, about the beauty of the Supreme Lord. So in this way, we understand Shri Radha Natavar. So please, whoever joined first time or recently coming, just started coming to the temple of ISKCON Columbus, please try to visit, try to take the association of devotees, try to offer whenever you come to temple. Generally in India practice, or here also Prabhupada is emphasizing, just bring some flowers, a fruit, or tulsi leaves, whatever is basic simple things. By simple following just these simple things, we can develop our loving relationship with Krishna and devotees. It's very, very tangible results we can see in our life. So the Shanta, we mentioned about these different plants, trees, different animals in Vrindavan, in other places also. This is Shantaras. Dasya means master servant, means that we know awe and reverence. When we see our parents, we have this awe and reverence, or if we are very close, then obviously it will be more like a friend. But in general, with our elders, awe and reverence. Like that with the Supreme Lord, especially in Lord Vishnu. Whenever we are worshipping the temple, Prabhupada has emphasized worship in a Vidhi Marga. We are not at like a spontaneous. So that's why we worship as Lakshmi Narayan, not like a Radha and Krishna. Even though they are Radha and Krishna, but we worship in the form in the Lakshmi Narayan worship, because we have to follow the rules and regulations. Pancharatriki Vidhi, we have to follow with rules and regulations Narada Muni has given us. So that's a Santa Dasya, that is master and servant. And then Sakya, next level is the higher we go, everything is there in it. The previous rasas already within it. So Shanta Dasya is already there in the Sakya ras. Sakya means friendship, as well Krishna and Arjuna are the friends. And we see so many friends with Sudam, Sridham, Madhumangal in Vrindavan. We see in Krishna's pastimes. Sakya, then Vatsalya, next level, parent and child relationship. That is Yashoda means Nanda and Yashoda, Devaki and Vasudev's relationship with Krishna. That is the that is the parent-child relationship, Vatsalya, and then highest is Madhurya. So the highest form of rasa. So Krishna, when he says asakti, so Krishna is telling, emphasizing, develop in one of these 5 rasas. try to develop attachment towards me. That is what Maya Asakta. So when you do that, then with your mind attached to me, especially mind. So what is mana means mind. So where Prabhupada sings beautiful words, beautiful kirtan of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. What is that? Manasa deho geha jo kichu more arpilu toi Nanda Kishore. Somehow or the other, ena tena prakarena mana Krishna ishevayet. Somehow or the other, transfer your mind and put your mind, offer your mind to the lotus feet of Krishna, arpilu toi Nanda Kishore. Especially Krishna likes when he is called Gopi Jana Vallabha, Yashodanandam, Devaki Nandan, in this way, because in relation, just like if our kids call us with even the broken language when they are born, we like it, we record it, we share, we save all those pictures. We are so much fond of memories. Same thing, Krishna is emphasizing here, revealing his secrets. He is telling, Are Baba, I am sharing my remnants for so many lifetimes. I am telling as a super soul, even an animal, even in a ants, insects, reptiles, snakes, every species of life, I am there as a super soul. I am giving you my knowledge, I am giving you guidance, I am giving instruction. Especially as a human being, I am giving you my remnants. I am sharing everything what I have. You are the one who is going away from me, running away from me. You don't want me. So Krishna is emphasizing here. Please hear, O Arjuna, you are trying to run away from the battlefield. You are thinking I will do because the results is going to be bad. They will be killed. No, Krishna is emphasizing, no, don't do it just because you are attached to results. Develop relationship because I am telling you, you do it for me. Develop that relation rasa with me. As a friend, I am telling you, do it for me. Then automatically you will attain me. You will perfect your life. So that's why Krishna is emphasizing here that asakti means developing attachment in any of these rasas. And Prabhupada also emphasizing many times devotees think that, oh, Prabhupada didn't give everything. Then they will try to understand Siddha Pranali and other things. Prabhupada has clearly told, I have given everything. This revelation of our original form, our true spiritual form, what is our form, what is our relationship, will be revealed at a time when we are ready. When we are ready, when we go from that Sravanam and Kirtanam to Smaranam, and then when we go to the higher level, absorption, meditation, recollection, then that will be revealed. When we come to that asakti stage, that means deep attachment. There are 9 stages. Prabhupada Goswami explaining. Let me see the time. 12:23. I'm supposed to stop at 12:15. Ramesh Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Couple of questions, but you can complete, Prabhu, and then we'll take questions. Yeah. Sorry.
So I was talking about Prabhupada Goswami is telling, giving that verse, why we should perform bhakti. Bhakti because 6 things it brings. Sri Krishna, it attracts Krishna. It also removes all simple kleshagni. It removes all simple, not only this life. Every lifetime, whatever we had bank balance, everything will be removed. Kleshagni. Subhada, it is the most auspicious. Sri Krishna, it attracts and it gives concentrated bliss. Moksha Lagutakrut, it gives liberation beyond this material bondage. The Moksha Lagutakrut, the Sandrananda Visheshatma, that means the concentrated bliss, not like simply some happiness we get in this material, but it's highest rasa. In order to get this Sri Krishna Akarshane, Prabhupada Goswami, or one of our acharyas, principal acharyas, is telling, Sadhakanam ayam premno. Okay, if you want to develop love, you want to know, how do I develop this bhakti? You're talking about this whole verse about bhakti. How do I develop? What are the stages? Then he's explaining, yes. Sadhakanam ayam premno pradur bhavet krama. There is a step-by-step progress, just like you do material knowledge study, 1 by ABCD to next 10th class, like that. Same way, there is a step-by-step process for bhakti. Ado Shraddha, first one is faith. So that's why you have to have faith. Without faith, you cannot understand. Bhagavad Gita, you read 100 times. If you don't have faith in Krishna, finished. You cannot understand Bhagavad Gita at all. Faith is very much required. 9.3 Krishna is emphasizing clearly. One who doesn't have faith, Asraddha Dana Purusha, Dharmasyascha Parantava, Aprapyamam Nivartante, Mrityu Samsara Vartana. You will go change life after life, but you will never understand Krishna, you will never attain Krishna. If one who doesn't have, that's why faith is very important. We have faith in getting onto bus, getting onto train, everywhere we have faith. But same faith, we have faith on scientists also, we have faith on TV also, but we don't have faith in the God. So that's a big problem. So that's why we need to have developed attachment, understand. So Krishna is emphasizing that. Adav Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sango, associate with devotees. That's why I'm telling. So try to associate with those devotees in ISKCON Columbus, and it will help you. Nothing. Krishna is not saying renounce, give up your job and come to temple. No, Krishna is not telling that. Nowhere you can find in Bhagavad Gita Krishna is telling that. Rather, Krishna, Arjuna is telling that I want renounce and go to forest. But Krishna is telling, no, you should do the duty. That means you serve your parents, you serve your family members, but also think that they are all belongs to me. Krishna is telling, and transfer in that way relation, maintain relation, center relation with Krishna to me. Because just like the foundation, like a bricks, when you have a bricks foundation, your foundation must be strong. When you build a home, there are bricks, there is a cement, there is a concrete. What does it mean? Paying attention to the details, sensitivity. These two are very important. If there is no consistency in your concrete, foundation will not be strong. They have to be hard, they have to be perfect temperature, they have to be perfect consistency. When they put that inside that steel frames, they put this concrete, they mix with sand and what you call those chips and other things, and then they make it perfect temperature, they put it perfectly at perfect time. So that is the consistency. That's why in devotion service, it doesn't matter, even if you are newcomer, whatever level we are in, consistency is required, and paying attention to details is very much required. Sensitivity is also very much required. Loving relationship with devotee, sensitivity is very much required. Even in our family relationship also, sensitivity is required. That's why Adav Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha. When you say Sadhu Sangha, association with them, these three things must be included within Sadhu Sangha. Sensitivity, paying attention to details, and I forgot already. Adav Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha Tata Bhajana Kriya. Bhajana Kriya means surrendering. Next step, associate devotee, next you go to surrender to a spiritual master, because you want to progress. That doesn't mean that you renounce again. Nowhere, throughout your higher span, you see most of them are Grihastha. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is Grihastha. Many of our acharyas are Grihastha. They didn't renounce, they didn't give up their family life, but still they perfected their life. Many examples are there. So don't think that bhakti means I have to, because many times parents tell this, hey, don't enter into Krishna consciousness. Don't take bhakti, you'll lose things. You have a long time to go, you just got married, you just have kids. No, that's not the full on. That means they don't have proper understanding. But Krishna is clearly telling, you don't need to do anything separate. Just offer simple things, then you can attain perfection. Adav Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha Tata Bhajana Kriya. Next step is surrender. Anardha Nivritti Sya. This is a very important step. That's why that mana, mind, is used. Mind, there are 5 characteristics, but we'll have to talk in a separate class. All the time is over. But Anardha Nivritti means there are initial anartha is also there before coming to faith, before coming to Krishna. That's why in last verse or 2 verses before end of this chapter, Krishna talks about echam antagatam papam. Unless sinful activity is removed, you cannot even come to Krishna. You'll worship all other demigods, all other things, but you'll never come to Krishna. That is the first layer of anarthas. When you come to Krishna, as you progress into bhajana kriya, taking initiation, there is then the actual real inside anartha, proclivities in the heart, that anartha will start churning out. It takes time. Depending on how serious we are, we have to talk that whole anartha nivritti is a separate class. Anartha nivritti sya tata nishta. Once you go out of anartha, nishta. This is when nishta, then ruchi. Fixed up devotion in nishta, then ruchi. You develop taste for the holy name. You develop taste for serving devotees. You develop taste for associating with devotees. You develop taste for worshiping the deities. Nishta, ruchi, and asakti. That's when asakti and bhava. Then Krishna prema. These are the stages. So that's why when I say that with the revelation, that when it will be revealed, the actual original form, our spiritual form, like Krishna has a form, beautiful, transcendental, like that, our spiritual form, when it will be revealed, when we come to that Nishta, especially Nishta and Ruchi and Asakti stage, that's when it will be revealed. Don't try to use your mental speculation and try to, oh, this book is not giving the detail, let's go to the other book, or let's go find out some other gurus. No, Prabhupada is clearly emphasizing, unless you come to that stage, don't try to speculate and try to invent things. It will be revealed naturally. You just need to follow the process given. Follow the doctor prescription. You follow some other thing, then how will you cure from disease? So that's why clearly these 9 steps, very important step here, Krishna is emphasizing asakti. Transfer your material attachment to spiritual attachment. So that's what revelation means. Initial revelation, gradually more and more Krishna will reveal. With that, I'll stop. Much more to say. First line itself we haven't finished about mind, but we'll, whatever. So we can take questions now. I've spoken enough.
Thank you, Prabhu, so much. Thank you for the very nice overview and explaining about Bhakti. So I just wanted to check if anybody has any questions.
Feel free to ask. So there is nothing wrong in asking even simple questions. No problem. Please go ahead. By asking question, you can improve. Yes, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes.
Prabhu, can you explain about the Santaras? What is the relationship? You talking about the animal, trees, and others relations, right? But I think Prahlad Maharaj has the Santaras, right?
Yes.
Can you explain about this a little bit more?
Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. These are the 5 principal rasas. Then there are 7 secondary rasas, Gauna rasas are there. Hasya, Vivasa, Bhayanaka, and other things. The Bhishma Deva has one of them, chivalrous ras, that is second. In the primary rasa, first one is the Shanta, means neutrality. Just like the trees, the plant, the monkeys. Prahlad Maharaj is quoted as Shantaras. With awe and reverence. He is trying to serve the Lord because individual relationship you cannot change. One, we might be having a specific rasa with the Lord. Why I have that specific rasa? That you cannot. Why I like gulab jamun? No, you cannot question why I like gulab jamun. Right? So Shanta rasa means it is in a neutral relationship. It is not like other rasas, specific, in a neutral. But it is you understand that God is great. You understand God's quality to some extent, but not to the highest level. But Prahlad Maharaj in general, if you look at his whole characteristics, this is much more. Is the great, pure devotee of the Lord. But he is in that rasa. That is his center focus rasa is in Shantaras. But in some of the pastimes, it could be other rasas. But from the acharyas, what we understand is in the Shantaras, neutrality, neutral relationship. Is not in Dasya or Sakya or Vatsalya or Madhurya. Hope is that clear, Ashesha Karna Jagannath Prabhu?
Yes, that is clear. But quick questions. Last, I'll not take much time to. So, quick question is that what is the if one devotee is in Santaras, can he elevate it to the Sakharas or Vatsalyaras or any other ras?
Yes, he can. He can. There is no, I think in Gopa Kumar's case, but means finally whatever rasa he has developed his love, where he is feeling his emotions, bhava. That's where he will come to, finally he will conclude in. So Gopa Kumar in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Sanatana Goswami sharing. So initially he went to Jagannath Puri. Finally, first of all, he went in the material world, all the planets, the Brahmaloka, Shivaloka, everywhere in the material world. Then he went to Vaikuntha planet where the awe and reverence is there. He was still not fully blissful. Lord Vaikuntha has said. So looks like you should go to the next place, especially Ayodhya Dham. Then he came to the Ayodhya Dham. Still he was not happy. Lord Ramchandra told, then I think you need to go to the next. Then he went to moved up to the next level. Then he went into the Dwaraka, then Mathura, then finally went to Golok Vrindavan, the highest planet in the spiritual world. So within the part of the Vaikuntha, that is the topmost planet. So in this way, so there are different rasas he had experienced, but still he was not happy. That means he is not content. Different rasas he experienced, Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, because in the rest of the Vaikuntha planet, mostly Dasya ras is there. Master and servant. In Ayodhya Dham, more of a little bit higher than that, like Lord Hanuman has a relationship with Lord Ramchandra, others. So Shanta, Dasya, and a little bit Sakya here and there is there, but not so much mature. not so much deep. That rasa of especially Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya is only there as you go up to that especially Mathura, especially in Vrindavan. Vrindavan is the highest place where you see so much highest deep relationship with Krishna, Lord. All these wonderful devotees of Vrindavan has, like as I mentioned, Sridham, Subhal, Madhumangal, Stok, Krishna, you name it. In Sak, in also what is that? Santa Dasya. Dasya also you see Raktak and Patrak and others. Nectar Devotion talks about it in great detail, giving the example of devotees who are under what rasa, specific rasa in this. Is that clear, Prabhu?
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Very wonderfully explained, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Prabhupada Jai. Any others have questions?
Prabhu, I'm not seeing any other questions, or I didn't see any other comments.
So, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvatam, thank you so much for such a nice class. So, another question from me, rather small, silly question. So, Prabhuji, you said that one should offer tulsi leaves to Krishna every day, but I mean, is there a rule, or that we cannot pluck tulsi leaves on Sundays or on some days of the week? Like some people say we should not do on Sundays. Some people say we should not do Ekadashi, or some people say we should not do on Dwadashi. So what is the exact rule behind this? So I just wanted to know that.
Yeah. General principle is, I'm telling you, we'll go to the higher principle also. General principle is on specifically next day of Ekadasi, she is also fasting, so that's why we are not supposed to pluck the leaves. There are specific mantra also to pluck while plucking the leaves, but it's okay, it's good to learn, but it's not mandatory to so much caught up with the rules and verses, what is there, what is not there, but more interested to offer, that is so. But any day you can offer. It's like sometimes people have these different rules and regulations. I cannot go to this temple, I cannot even shave, I cannot do this, chaturma, so many rules and regulations, we sometimes get caught up. But Krishna is emphasizing, Acharya is emphasizing one rule, highest rule. Smartavyasa satato Vishnu, vismartavyasa najatuchit. Sarva vidya nishedayor, etayeva yekinkara. All other rules, everything becomes subservient to this rule. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Vrunda Devi, why she is there? She is meant to serve Radha and Krishna. So when you offer, it doesn't matter, even on Dwadasi day also, when it is needed, generally we should try to pluck day before, offer, use that next day also. If you don't remember, what can be done? Because serving the Lord is the priority. That is the main relationship. So in that consciousness, if we can develop our consciousness in that way, then you can do on Dwadasi day also. But general rule is you try to do day before if you can. Sometimes it is not possible, or somehow by mistake you forgot, then it's all right. So she doesn't want, you can ask for forgiveness, but generally that is the way I look at, because bhakti is all about our internal consciousness. We want to develop, because rules and regulations in that specific cases will not matter much, but general rules and regulations we should follow. But when it is required, when we want to serve the Lord, sometimes it doesn't, especially at home you can do it. And so that's how I would say for that.
Okay, one follow-up. So some people, I've also like, in my place, people said you should not walk tulsi on Sundays. You cannot pluck leaves on Sundays, but you're saying those does not matter. And I've also heard that we should not pluck tulsi leaves in evening. Is that right? Because if I want to pluck on Ekadashi for Dwashi, then I cannot do on Ekadashi evening. Then I cannot do that in the evening.
Generally we are supposed to pour water before sunrise and then after sunset, kind of that time. Plucking also generally it is supposed to do that time, but it is not practical all the time. So that is our inner consciousness. If we can do, that's great. If you cannot do, what can be done? So we have to offer. So that is the main priority, right? Anyway, we have so many defects in us, in the material body. So at least by offering that leave, even something which we were not supposed to do, still by offering that, Krishna will overlook those defects and see that my devotee, this living entity is trying to offer something to me. Krishna will accept that more. than thinking about this rule, that rule. So rather than that, so that's why internal consciousness is the most important thing we have to consider.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So thank you, Prabhu. So I think we are a little bit over time.
Yeah.
So, but thank you for the very informative discourse.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I have a question. What kind of suggestion, if you can give? Prabhuji, like.
I would ask Ramesh Prabhu, because I'm not supposed to go over time. So,
Mata, is this going to be a quick question, because we are over time a little bit? So.
Okay, if you tell that, then I don't tell later.
No, if it's a quick question, go ahead, Mata. 1 or 2 minutes doesn't make difference. But
I don't know. You decide.
Yeah, go ahead, Mata. Go ahead.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thing is that if kids tell anything which they don't mean, playfully they tell something, but which they don't mean, but it's not good for their future life, then later they, after explain, they understand, and then they do, and they understand and they rectify, and they understand their mistake. So what is means, as a mother, what I do so that as a mother, I don't want he get any bad reactions, anything. But he understand his mistake and he try his best to do what, ask forgiveness or everything. So what else I can do, Prabhuji, so that he don't get any bad reaction for that.
I didn't follow the exact question. You are talking about your kids with you, or I'm not completely understood.
This is like for any case, like if we do any wrong, means playfully tell.
Anything wrong with the devotees, or with anything wrong with your kids, or with whom? That is
no. If okay, if you tell something about Bhagavatam which is not a spiritual thing, and then I catch up that, then I explain him, then he don't mean anything, but as a playfully he told. So as a mother, I make him understand, and he asks, he understand his mistakes, and he did, he asked forgiveness, and he did, and he like for whatever to like parikrama of Bhagavatam, read more Bhagavatam, do arati, pleasing Bhagavatam as much as he can. So he doing all these things, but still there's little bit click in my mind what else he can do, so that because Bhagavatam is Krishna himself, that Krishna, so what else we do that Krishna will understand and forgive him.
Yeah, I think I understood your question. Is this in relation with your kids or something? You are telling them.
Yeah.
I would say Prabhupada has emphasized 3 things, as discussing other day also. Enthusiasm must be there, but along with enthusiasm, there should be a patience, there should be a tolerance. Utsaha, nichya, dhairya. Generally, we have as a parent, I also do that sometimes. We are enthusiastic. We want to make sure they become devotees, or they do something, at least something offer. But along with that, especially with kids, we must have a patience, tolerance. Prabhupada emphasized very much. Confidence, dhairya. So leave it to Krishna. Result, don't be attached too much to result. Why they are not reading, why they are not developing. I'm telling, instructing again and again. Still they are not doing. Tolerate that. Be patient. When it will happen, it will happen. You just try your best, try to give your love, and then you can always bring them to the association of pure devotees, sadhus, and then they, by their mercy, they can be transformed, even moments of association. But even if they do mistake, like by touching something and they're touching Bhagavatam or doing some mistake, because they're not fully aware what's supposed to be done, because they are childish, they are small. We also did that, so many mistakes when we are child. So tolerate that, and keep giving your love to them, inspire them, and engage them in different activities. That is the main thing. Engage them in different activities. If they like, okay, let them play sometime. Let them do some painting, artwork, and different things. You should include always what they like also. If you always try to do what you want, then they can never really come to Krishna consciousness. You have to go into their shoes and understand what they want also. So in that way, so you are really personal relationship means we have to understand the sensitivity. We have to really learn what they like, what they want also. So, and slowly and gradually we can really increase our relationship, and they will also try to follow our instructions. It takes time, especially if they are younger, a small age, then it is easy for them to learn. But if they are more and more like 15, 16, 17, as they grow up, it's very difficult. It's already too late. Too much knowledge they already have. They already have patterns in their mind and intelligence. It's very difficult for them to. But by the mercy of senior devotees, sadhus, Prabhupada, disciples of Prabhupada, that can be changed also. But by our own endeavors, it will be difficult at that age if they take up at that little bit later. So that is the natural, generally we see.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you for all your insights, and really appreciate you taking some time today. I know you have a very, very busy schedule, and you could spare some time for us. And in future, again, we'll see if we can have another session. And also, please visit our ISKCON Columbus temple whenever you get a chance. Whenever this COVID thing is cleared, and you can anytime come to the temple. So we will be having some local announcements, Prabhu. So if you want to stay, that's fine. First announcement is regarding the Nityanand Trayodasi festival, which happened last week, and we are very happy to announce that around 250 to-go boxes were distributed in the festival, and we had a fantastic festival in terms of the darshan and online Zoom and the Abhishekam and everything. And I don't know from where even to start with thanking all the devotees who helped in making this a grand success. So I don't know if Sadhvij Prabhu is there. Do you want to add any couple of words on the festival, Prabhu? Or
Sorry, Prabhu, he is not here.
okay, no problem. That's fine. I just wanted to thank everybody for the grand festival, and the next announcement is regarding the new temple. So most of the devotees might have seen the announcement on the new temple. They might have got the email. So Chandra Prabhu, do you want to add something to that, or should I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead and start, Prabhu. If there is anything you want me to add, I can.
Yeah. So primarily, I think most of us must have seen the email. So the new temple, we got the approval from the ISKCON GBC, and so we have a timeline on the next couple of years. The spring 2023, right, Prabhu? So that's the target date, and so we have in that email there are like mention of 9 members. So you please feel free to reach any of these 9 members if you have any questions on the new temple. And they also have an email group like support@isconcolumbus.com. So you can always send your email there. And I think that's a very, very exciting news. Now we have a vision forward for the new temple. So Chandra Babu, you want to add something, or?
Yeah, just one small correction, Prabhu. It's not ISKCON GBC, it's our GBC and regional secretary, Malti Prabhu and Gaurav Shakti Prabhu. So they have approved our vision. Okay. So we are the team, the core team, including our local GBC and Gaurav Shakti Prabhu. We are all in alignment with the budget and the expectation and the plan for the project and the timeline. So we have already started working on everything, and hopefully we will plan in the near future for groundbreaking and also making this vision successful in 2023, early spring or early summer. We'll have an opening basically.
Thank you. Thank you. And the last announcement is regarding the upcoming festivals. So 3/8 is Monday, the 8th of March, and that's Vijaya Ekadashi. So we will continue with our 3-hour kirtans in the evening, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. If anybody is interested in leading the kirtan, please contact me and I can schedule them. And this will be on Facebook. And And the next one is the huge festival which is coming up next month. That is on 28th is Gaur Purnima, and more details will be shared as we come closer to that. So I think those are the announcement for this week. And once again, thanks to Krishna Namananda Prabhu for your amazing discourse, and it was very, very helpful and knowledgeable for us. So if anybody else has any announcements or before we
This
close?
is Naveen Krishnadas. I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Krishna Namananda Prabhu. I think I saw you, met you in the past. You just here, yeah.
Yes, I'm very happy to see Naveen Krishna Prabhu. I have seen you, and I also Edi Chandra Prabhu. Even I think Suchira Mataji. I think many other devotees I see very familiar faces. I fully remember your face also.
It reflects you. You read a lot, so I could see that. Thank you very much. So.
Yeah, thank you so much, Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, thank you so much.
We'll meet in person, hopefully.
Nice, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll close with the Vaishnava prayers.
Yes.
Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.